Shalom, shalom. We give all praises to the Messiah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai, for his love and compassion for our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. This is our Torah portion for this week, and our Torah portion is found in the book of Numbers, chapter 1, all the way to Numbers 36, Numbers chapter 36, verse 13. That's our Torah portion for this week. And I'm going to start by reading Numbers 30, verse 1, where it says, And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is a thing which the Most High has commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Most High, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceed out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Most High, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand. So what we see, nowadays people they love to make statements, right? They love to say things and they don't do them. And people make promises and they don't uphold their side of the promise. So the Most High does not operate like that, right? So if you make a vow and you say you're gonna do something, you better do it, right? And you're gonna see as we read throughout this chapter that this is something that the Most High consider to be very important. If you vow something, you vow to do something, then that vow, you better uphold that. And there's going to be exception where your vow can be neutralized. But the general understanding is if you make a vow, then that becomes your bond. You have to do what you say you will do. So we're going to read in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37. In the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37, it says, But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than this come of evil. Right? So you don't want to be someone who's saying something and not doing it, or someone who's lying. Whatever you say has to be yea, and if you say nay, is nay. Right? So likewise, if you say you're going to do something for the Most High, then you have to accomplish what you say you will do. So now going back to Numbers, right? Numbers chapter 30, verse 3. Let's go back to 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Most High, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand. So basically, if she's at her parents' house, at her father's house, and she make a vow unto the Lord, if the father doesn't say anything, then whatever vow she make, this is going to happen, and it must happen, right? And that's if her father stays silent. But then you're gonna find out if her father has the power to disallow that vow, right? Because he is the man of the house, he's the head of the household, and so while she's in his house, right? He has that power to disallow any vow that she makes, right? So now let's go to Numbers chapter 30, verse 5, where it says, But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows, or of her bonds wherewith she has bound her soul, shall stand, and the Most High shall forgive her, because her father disallow her. Let's read it again. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows, or her bonds wherewith she has bound her soul, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. So meaning what? Meaning if the father heard the vow that she makes, right? Her father has that power and the ability to disallow it. and let's say she vowed to bring $1 million unto the Lord, and the father is dead, the father might immediately disallow it, say this vow cannot happen, and therefore she's not gonna be held guilty for not following through with that vow. But if the father heard it and he didn't say anything, then this has to happen. And if she cannot accomplish her vows unto the Lord, then that itself is a grave sin unto her, right? Verse 6, it says, let's go back. Numbers 30, verse 6. It says, if she had at all a husband when she vowed and uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her. On the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Most High shall forgive her. Now, what you have to notice is that the father essentially had the same power, right? Just like the not the father, so like I mean the husband. The husband has the same power. So just like you see, the father had the power to disallow a vow, the husband also has the power to disallow a vow, right? Let's read it again one more time on verse 7 and 8. It says, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand. So if the husband heard she make a vow and the husband doesn't say anything, then that vow is going to stand. But then if the husband disallow it, then that vow is not going to stand, right? Verse 8, but if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Most High shall forgive her. So basically, if the husband disallow that vow, then she will be forgiven for any vow that she make. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. And we read in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High. This is why if you look at the Bible back in the days, when a man needed a woman, he had to pay a heavy sum to the father, because that right of ownership is being passed down from the father, right, to the husband. And it's not gonna be like you just come in and you take the woman. You would have to pay a heavy price for that. And likewise, that responsibility, now that it's on the man, he has a lot of power over not just his wife, but over his household, to guide that household according to the scriptures. So now the structure that the Most High put in place is very simple. That the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High. So the husband being the head of the household, he's also the head of the woman, and therefore this is why he's able to disallow a vow that the wife makes. Just like the father is also able to disallow a vow that his daughter makes, right? Next, let's get Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3. The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, but fornication and all uncleanliness and covetousness, let it not, let me see if I get the right verses here. So like, yeah, Ephesians 5:23. The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So once again, the husband is the head of the wife. So the Most High creating a hierarchy. And even, for example, for some of you that might come from the Caribbean, you've seen it, how the order was established in the house. It was basically the husband on top, the mom second, and you would have the oldest kids, right? Whether it's a boy or a girl, whoever is older, you would have priority or his or her word would stand. So the same way, right? Biblically speaking, you have the Mosiah, you have Hamashiach, you have then the mom, you have the husband, you have the mom, and then you have the kids, and the kids would start with the oldest one, whether boy or girl. So that's how we used to do it in our culture, right? That's how we used to do it. We have a form of hierarchy. We had a form of order. Um, Going back to Numbers chapter 31, verse 9. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. So if a widow, she makes a vow, she doesn't have a husband, she doesn't have a father, then whatever vow she makes is gonna stand against her. And if she doesn't fulfill it, then it's on her. It's her responsibility. And by the way, the Most High can actually definitely kill someone for vowing something and not follow through with accomplishing that vow. You can die for that. That's serious, right? Verse 10. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, um, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband has utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceed out of her lips concerning her vows and concerning the bond of her soul shall not stand. Her husband has made them void, and the Most High shall forgive her. Like again, the husband has that power to void whatever vow that is made. Verse 13. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, and her husband may make it void. This is very important. Let me read it again. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, and her husband may make it void. Now, let's get a verse in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24. Wisdom of Salakia, Ecclesiasticus, um, 36, verse 24. For some of you, it's actually the book of what we call the book of Sirach. So it's either you look for Ecclesiasticus or you look for the book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 24. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24. He that get a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. The key thing to see here is it says, he that get a wife beginneth a possession, meaning to possess is to own it. This is your wife. It belongs to you. And therefore, the Most High give the man that authority over his wife and over his household. And this is why nowadays we look around, we see, families are in disarray and everything is out of order because we have the woman fighting with the husband and the husband fighting with the woman. There is no sense of authority. There is no center in the house. Everyone think they have the same power. Everyone think they have the same might. And therefore, if a woman is going out the wrong way, the husband cannot correct her. And if the woman is doing something, the husband cannot tell her what to do. And at the end, when she makes poor choices, family get messed up, children, they suffer, everybody suffer. So we have to have a sense of order, not just within the family, but within the whole nation. That needs to exist. And if there's a hate for order, then we cannot make progress. And and we're always gonna keep making the same mistakes as our forefathers they made. So we have to learn. We have to learn. The Bible says, he that get a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, in the pillar of rest. So obviously, just because you say, this is my wife that I own, I possess her, this belongs to me, that doesn't mean she's like a servant that you have to beat her, you have to mistreat her. That's not what we're saying. In fact, as you can see, the scripture is clear on that, where it says she's gonna be a help unto himself and a pillar of rest. Meaning she's gonna be your rest. There's not gonna be fighting. It's not gonna be like a place where there's quarrels, but rather absolute peace. Next, Um, verse 14. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establish all her vows and all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmed them because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. Very important. If you heard she was making a vow and you didn't say anything, because you stay quiet, because you didn't say anything, by default, you actually uphold that vow. You actually establish that vow because you stay quiet. But if you say something, she made a vow and you say, nah, I don't agree with that vow, and I'm gonna immediately disallow that vow, then she cannot be held responsible for it. But if she say, I'm gonna give the Lord 50 goats, and you didn't say anything, then now she has to give the Lord 50 goats. And if she doesn't give the Lord 50 goats, now she's sinning. Okay? Verse 15. But if he shall in any ways make them void after that he had heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. Let me read it again. But if he shall in any ways make them void after that he had heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. Right? So then all of a sudden he himself would be responsible for whatever she said. Right? Verse 16, these are the statutes which the Most High commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. Numbers 31. Most High spake unto Moses, saying, avenge the children of the Midianites. Afterward, avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shall thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the children or unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of Midian. Now, this is where that's very important. A lot of people, we are wondering, why would the Most High want Israel to go and fight against the Midianites? And the second question is, who are the Midianites? Well, if you go back, you'll find out that the Midianites, they actually conspired with the Moabites, right? They conspired with the Moabites to get Balaam to try to curse the children of Israel. And in many ways, they sort of kind of understood our weakness and even sent women to try to get us to sin. So it was necessary for the Most High to destroy the Midianites because they conspired with the Moabites and try to destroy us, right? And the next question is, who are the Midianites? So let's get the book of Genesis 25 right quick to see a thing or two about the Midianites. So we need to know who they are. The book of Genesis, chapter 25. I'll scroll down right quick. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 1. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. Now, a lot of you thought Abraham only had Sarah, but Abraham had another wife, and her name was Keturah, right? So the Bible says Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, right? And Ishbak and Shua. Now, those are the other children that Abraham had. A lot of you don't know Abraham had other kids. So if we count in total, Abraham had Ishmael. Abraham also has Isaac. Abraham had with Keturah, Zimran, Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua, giving us what? A total of 8 kids. So Abraham had 8 kids with 2 wives. And there are other verses that says that Abraham actually did have concubines, right? So some people don't know that Abraham had other wives. Matter of fact, let me read it right quick in Genesis 25, verse 6, where it says, but unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had. So Abraham had concubines. Remember, concubines are not elevated to the level of wives. There are servants that are married basically to their lord or their master, and those servants are actually more like they are named, they are called concubines, not exactly to be the level of wives. Or basically, for example, like if you have like a wife and she has her own servant and she gives the servant unto her husband, that servant doesn't automatically become a wife. She's called a concubine. So the Bible says Abraham had concubines and also had other kids, right? So don't be surprised. Check this out, verse 6, right? Where it says, but unto the sons of the concubine. So possibly he even had other kids with the concubine. So, which would make it not just those 8 kids, but other children that we don't know about. So that's very important, right? Now let's go back. We're going to go back to Numbers 31, verse 2. We need to know what happened with the Midianites because the story is going to get very interesting. And he says, I avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward, thou shalt be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. So they were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And so basically, Moses raised an army of 12,000 men to go fight against the Midianites. And Moses sent them to war, 1,000 of every tribe. Then and them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and with the trumpets to blow in his hand. That's very important because you have to know in Israel, when we went to war, we always blow the trumpet. Why? Because when we blow the trumpet, we get delivered from our enemy. Because the trumpets help us call the angels to help us fight against our enemies, right? So now let's continue. And they warred against the Midianites as the Most High commanded Moses, and they slew all the males, right? And they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Avi, and Rechem, and Zor, and Hor, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam, also the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. Now, nowadays, people, we are all in our feelings, because people be like, oh my God, that was genocide. But there's a reason for it. And as we are going to continue to read, we'll see this is actually even more dramatic than what I just read. Because you see on verse 7 where it says they slew all the males, but you're going to see what happened later on, and it was literally by the order of the Most High. The Most High tell them to do that through his servant Moses, right? So let's continue. Verse 10, Numbers 31, verse 10. And they burned all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and the captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, have ye saved all the women alive? Meaning, essentially, why did you save all these women? Because you're going to find out, normally in Israel, we would actually save the women and literally wipe out all the males. But this circumstance is very different. This time it's different because Moses wanted to make sure all the women, only a specific group of females would stay alive. Not all the females would stay alive. Only a specific group. You will find out. Let's keep reading. Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Most High in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Israel. This is specifically why the Most High was pissed, and the Most High was like, "Why did you save all these women?" Because those women, what they did, they were used as whores, right? As prostitute, basically trying to get tricked the Israelites. And I think they did succeed, right? To trick the Israelites to sin. And at the result of that is we got hit by bad plague and a couple of people died. And Moses was like, those same women you're gonna keep alive, what we're gonna do with them, right? So verse 17, the Most High said, now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known men by lying with him. Why? Because those women that have already slept with men, those are the same women that had caused Israel to sin, right? That had caused Israel to sin, and therefore the Most High didn't want to have nothing to do with them. So the Most High, that's why the Most High ordered them to be wiped out. But now let's go back where it says, now therefore kill every male among the little ones. That sounds a little harsh. Why the little boys? Well, because those little boys, they would actually grow to want to avenge their fathers. You have to understand, when even us, for example, right, we went to the slave trade and whatnot. When we think of what they did to our forefathers, we still have that blood of revenge in us, even though the Most High doesn't give us the power to take action for ourselves. But that blood is in there, where if the opportunity arises, we would most likely stand up and remember what the enemies had done to our forefathers and try to avenge our forefathers. Likewise, those boys, when they grow old, they're gonna grow to hate the children of Israel because of what the children of Israel had done to their mothers and to their fathers. You understand? The older males that were all wiped out were all killed because they were basically considered to be fighters, and they were considered to be the head of the household, and there was no need for it to bring them among us, right? Because at the end, they would be a sore unto us, and there would be fighters and killing us and all kind of stuff. So the Most High wanted us to completely, permanently empty out those settlements and give us basically a fresh new place that belong to us, where we don't have to deal with kids that's gonna be growing to hate the Israelites, right? So that's why the Most High wanted to wipe out all the males, and especially all the women that have known men, because those women, they were used to trick Israel into sin, right? And they've already know all kind of wickedness. If we bring them among us, the same type of wickedness that they know would be brought to us, and our people would just keep sinning. And that has always been our weakness, obviously, is if we sin. Verse 18, but all the women children that have not known men by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. So basically those women that have not known men, we can keep them for ourselves, basically as spoils of war, whether we want to use them as servants. And if they are of age, they are grown and of age, then they could be made concubines, perhaps. I don't know, but we would be keeping them for ourselves. Verse 19, and do ye abide without the camp 7 days, whatsoever has killed any person, and whosoever has touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. So they couldn't just walk inside of the camp, especially if you have participated in slaughtering and slaying of people. You can't just come to the camp. You have to stay outside of the camp. Verse 21, and Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war which went to the battle, this is the ordinance of the law which the Most High commanded Moses. Only the gold and the silver and the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide the fire, he shall make it go through the fire. And it shall be clean nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation. And all that abide not by the fire, he shall make it go through water. Right? Take this psalm, make it go through water. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean. That's verse 24. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean. And afterward you shall come into the camp. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying. Now something I wanted to, let me see. Let's move forward. Verse 26. Take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of men and of beasts, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into 2 parts, between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. And levy a tribute unto the Lord of the men of war which went out to battle, one soul of 500, both of persons and of beeves and of donkeys and of sheep. So basically, with everything that we got from the war, we had to levy a tribute. What does that mean? We're gonna take some of the things that the people got, the soldiers they got, and we're gonna split it, and we're gonna give the people or the congregation some, and then we're gonna give the soldiers some, and even some of those things will go to the Lord. And we're talking about both of persons and of beeves and of donkeys and of sheep. So we're not, and that's a person, that means the captives, because you're gonna see we're gonna get hundreds and thousands of people that were captured, right? You're talking about a bunch of little girls. They can be put to work. They can be put to help cleaning. They can become restavek, basically servants in the house. So, and even for example, if it's like something cleaning, for example, and at your house or getting woods, they can work. So those would be distributed among the people, right? They would be distributed among the people. So verse 29, it says, take it of the half and give it unto Eleazar the priest for an heave offering of the Most High. And the children of Israel's half, thou shalt take one portion of 50 of the persons and of the beeves. By the way, beeves is basically like beef, but plural. And of the donkeys and of the flocks and of all manner of beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Most High. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Most High commanded Moses. And the booty being the rest of the prey. That word here basically means like the spoil or what you got from plunder, right? Being the rest of the prey which the men of war had cut was 600,000 and 70,000 and 500 and 5,000 sheep, and 312,000 beeves, and 301,000 donkeys, and 32,000 person in all. So basically 30,000 individuals that are now become spoils of war, that we need to find out what to do with them. So we're going to distribute them, giving them to different households of women that had not known men by lying with him. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in number 300,070 and 30,000 and 500 sheep. And the Lord's tribute, the Most High's tribute of the sheep was 660 and 15. And the beeves were 30 and 6,000, of which the Most High's tribute was 60 and 12. And the donkey were 30,000 and 500, which the Most High's tribute was 60 and 1. And the persons were 16,000. So basically 16,000 individuals, those females, could be available as part of the Lord's tribute. So we basically divided into different groupings. One would go to the congregation, one would go to the Lord, and one would go to the soldiers of war. So everybody would have their own tributes, be it slaves or animals or anything of that, or even donkeys and sheep. So it would be basically shared among everyone. So the Lord would have some, the soldiers would have some, and even um, the people that did not go to war, they would have some. That's something we have to remember. I think that's very important. If you guys remember, in the book of First Samuel, right? Um, in the book of First Samuel, we had a situation where some of the soldiers, they went to war, and when they wanted to take all the spoil. You can read that in First Samuel, I think chapter 30 verse 24 to 25. First Samuel chapter 30 verse 24 to 25. Actually, was it First Samuel 30? Let's get it. Let's go get it right quick so I can read it for you guys. Hold on. So we can get that story where most of the soldiers, they wanted to get all the spoil, and then David was like, "Nah, we gotta share the spoil with the people. Even the people that stay behind watching the camp, they need to get something too. You can't just try to take everything for yourself." Correct. So that was correct. That's First Samuel chapter 30, verse 24. He says, "For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goes down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarry by this stuff. They shall part alike." And it was so from that day forward that he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. So you can just take all the spoil and all the goodness and everything that we got from the battle, from the war, and you give it to the soldiers and not give anything unto the people and anything unto the Lord. So it has to be that way, especially if we have an entire camp, an entire battle grouping. We go to an area, we conquer it. What we have to do is we can't just all the soldiers they take everything, and the people that stay behind the camp watching the gears, watching the children, watching everything else, you don't give them anything. That's not fair. So David had changed that. But we've already seen the precedents right here in the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 40, but verse 37 to 40. So let's keep on reading. And the persons were 16,000, of which the Most High's tribute was 32%. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the Lord's heave offering, unto Eleazar the priest, as the Most High commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel's half, which the Most High divided from the men that warred. Now the half pertaining unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000, and 7,500 sheep, and 30 and 6,000 beeves, and 30,000 donkeys, and 500 and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel half, Moses took one portion of 50, both of men and of beasts, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Most High. And the Most High commanded Moses, and the officers which were over 1,000 of the host, the captain of thousands, and the captain of hundreds came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, Thy servant hath taken a sum of the men of war, which are under our charge, and there lack not one man of us. And when therefore brought an oblation for the Most High, we have therefore brought an oblation for the Most High, what every man has gotten of jewels of gold, chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, and make an atonement for our soul before the Most High. As you can see, I mean, we did acquire a lot of things from the battle. You know, this is why soldiers back in the days that went to fight, it wasn't just like, I'm just gonna fight and get killed, but they know when they go to fight, they get a lot of perks. They get a lot of spoils of war. All right, so you could go to war broke, you come back rich because you get chains, gold, and bracelets. Especially nowadays, you know, gold is expensive. It's like $4,000, like a pound, I guess. So you could go to war, you get yourself a couple of chains and a couple of earrings, man, you're rich. Verse 51, and Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all the rough jewels and all the gold of the offering, and that they offered unto the Most High. Of the captains of thousands, of the captains of hundreds were 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself, right? Every man got a chance to get some spoils, right? And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and hundreds and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Most High. Verse 32. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw that the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that behold, that place was a place for cattle. Now, mind you, we were crossing, that's when, so the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead is on the east side of the Jordan, right, of the Jordan River. Essentially, it's kind of separated from the mainland. So if you stay on the east side of it, and Moses is gonna raise that issue, like, why would you want to stay on the east side and not continue? What about the other tribes? Because they're gonna be having to fight the enemies. So you want to just stay on the east side, or what's the plan, right? And you're gonna see how this issue was resolved. Numbers 32, verse 2. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and to Eleazar the priest, and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Dibon and Jazer and Nimrah and Heshbon and Elealeh and Shebam and Nebo and Beon even the country which the Most High smote before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. Wherefore say they, if we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. Moses said unto the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? And wherefore discourage ye the heart of the children of Israel from going over in the land which the Most High had given them? Thus did your fathers when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. And they went up unto the valley of Eshcol and saw the land. That discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which the Most High had given them. So that story. Remember when the Most High had sent spies to spy into the land of the Canaan, and the spies, they came back and they gave a bad report saying the people were tall. They saw the grapes were massively huge and the fruits and everything, and the people got so scared and they were discouraged and they didn't want to fight against their enemies. So Moses was worried about that, saying, so what if I give you that land and you stay on the east side of the Jordan? What about the rest of the mainland? Are you expecting your brethren to go fight by themselves, and while you're just chilling? It's like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Verse 10. And the Most High's anger was kindled the same time, and he swore, saying, surely none of the men that came out of Egypt from 20 years of age and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed me. Remember now in the desert, we we were essentially stuck in the desert for 40 years. We couldn't go anywhere, and a whole generation had to be wiped out just because of this one thing. Because when the spies had went over into the land of Canaan, they bring a bad report saying that they saw those people were like giants and the people were tall and all kind of stuff, right? So this right there was one of the reasons why Moses was like skeptical about that idea of giving the Reubenites in the Gadites that land of Gilead, because that land of Gilead was on the east side of the Jordan River, right? Verse 14. Verse 13. And the Most High's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Most High was consumed. And behold, ye are rising up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Most High towards Israel. For if you turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and yet shall destroy all these people. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle and cities for our little ones, but we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel until we have brought them unto their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance, for we will not inherit with them on yonder side of Jordan or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side of Jordan eastward. And Moses said unto them, if you will do this thing, if you will go armed before the Most High to war, and will go all of you armed over Jordan before the Most High, until ye have driven out his enemies from before him, and the land be subdued before the Most High, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before the Most High and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Most High. So we found there was kind of like I guess you could say a deal that was made, right? And the deal was very simple. If the Gadites and the Reubenites they themselves agree. They say, okay, fine, we will let our kids stay, and they're gonna be goat herders and sheep herders, and they're gonna raise cattle and everything. But we as soldiers, we're gonna cross over the Jordan River, and we're gonna fight, and we will not return until all the rest of Israel they manage to conquer their enemies. So once we've done that, then we can go back to our home. So when Moses heard that, Moses like, okay, fine, that's a much better deal. If you're ready to go armed before the Lord to war, then that land is gonna be yours and you can possess it. And if you do exactly as you say you would do, you will be found guiltless, meaning there's no guilt. And you cannot you meaning you have not sinned against the Lord. But if you decide not to fight until all Israel have acquired their land, then you would be found guilty. Verse 23. He says, but if you will not do so before the Lord, Salakia, if you will not do so, behold, ye have sinned against the Most High, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build you cities for your little ones, and fold for your sheep, and do that which proceed out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, Thy servants will do as my Lord commanded. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all of our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But thy servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before the Most High to battle, as the Most High saith. And Moses said unto them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Most High, and the land shall be subdued, before you. Then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Most High hath said unto thy servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before the Most High into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side of Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them even to the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, and to the half tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sion. By the way, those are spots where the Amorites and the king of Bashan, they lived on the east side of the Jordan River, that the Gadites and the Reubenites and the tribe of Manasseh, they managed to now own, with the condition that they will cross over armed to go to defend the rest of the tribe of Israel, right? So it says that the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sion, king of the Amorites, the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land which the cities thereof, and the coast, even the cities of the country round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer, and Atroth, and Shaphan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fenced cities and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Helieleh, and Kirjataim, and Nebo, and Baalmeon, their names being changed, and Shibma, and gave all the names unto the cities which they builded. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites which was in it. Basically, literally take them out. Take out all the Amorites which was in that city. Meaning, when you say to dispossess the Amorites which was in it, you get rid of them, all of them, and took it. Basically, Machir, one of the two sons of Manasseh, basically dispossessed the Amorites of that land. Right? And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, which is the second son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth Jair. And Noba went into Kenath, and the village thereof, and called it Noba after his own name. Numbers 33. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Most High. And these are the journeys according to their goings. And they departed from Ramses into the first month. So basically, this is kind of like giving us a recap of how we got out of Egypt when we were exiting out of the land of Egypt, same as you saw it in the book of Exodus. So this is giving us a quick recap, right? Let me read it from the top. Verse 32, verse 1. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Most High. And these are their journeys according to their goings. And they departed from Ramses in the first month. On the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with a high hand and the sight of the Egyptians. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Most High had smitten among them. Upon their gods also the Most High execute judgment. And the children of Israel removed from Ramses and pitched and Succoth. So this is basically tracing each spot where the children of Israel, where our forefathers, pitched when we left Egypt. And it's gonna give us like more detailed location of where we were. So for people that have doubts, right? Because I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna doubt and say, well, the children of Israel never left Egypt. Here we got evidence. We even have the exact name of where we pitch our tents from the time we exited Egypt until the time we got close to the land of Canaan. Verse 6. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. And they removed from Etham and turned again unto Pi-hahiroth, which is before Baal-zephon. And they pitched before Migdol. And they departed from before Pi-hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey into the wilderness of Etham, which and pitched and Marah. And they removed from Marah and came unto Elim. And in Elim were 12 fountains of water and 70 palm trees, and they pitched there. Now, a lot of you may not remember the story of Marah. The word Marah itself means bitterness, right? Let me see if I can get it right quick in the book of Exodus 15, verse 15, verse 23. The story of Marah, that words mean bitterness, and you're gonna find out the reason why it's called bitterness is because the water was very bitter after we were complaining. We didn't get no water. 3 days with no water, the people started complaining, and we got some water, and the water was very bitter. And I believe Moses had to put like something on it to turn the water sweet so that people could drink it. Let's see if I can get it right quick. Exodus chapter 15, verse 23. And he says, and when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah. They were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried unto the Most High, and the Most High showed him a tree which he had cast in the waters, and the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. So the people, they were thirsty, and they started whining as we normally do, right? This water, nobody can drink it. What we're gonna drink? So the Most High had to show Moses a tree that he was able to put the tree in the water, and the water became sweet, and the people were able to drink the water. Let's continue on, right? Chapter 30, the book of Numbers, chapter 33, verse 10. And they removed from Elim and encamped by the Red Sea. And they removed from the Red Sea and encamped by the wilderness of Sin. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dophkah. And they departed from Dophkah and encamped in Alush. And they removed from Alush and encamped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. Now, for a second time, we face another issue. And the other issue is we didn't have the water to drink again, but this time the people had caused Moses to sin, right? So we're gonna read it right quick. In Exodus chapter 17, verse 1. Let's read it. In the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 1. Exodus chapter 17, verse 1. And the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after the journeys according to the commandments of the Most High in Pitch and Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide with me? Wherefore do you tempt the Most High? And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children, our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Most High said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, and take in thine hand, and go. And behold, I will stand before thee there upon a rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, and the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Most High, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? So, and right after that, you're gonna see right after they kind of pissed the Most High off, you're gonna see the Amalekites. They came to attack Israel at Rephidim, right? So that was for the second time when people were thirsty. They started whining and started complaining to the point that Moses was really not happy, and the Most High had to strike that rock with the staff, right? But let's continue on. Verse 16. The book of Exodus 33, verse 16. And they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai, and they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched at Kibroth Hattaavah. And they departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and encamped as Hazeroth. And they departed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah and pitched at Rimmon Perez. And they departed from Rimmon Perez and pitched in Libnah. And they departed from Libnah and pitched at Risa. And they journeyed from Risa and pitched in Kahelatha. And they went from Kahelatha and pitched in Mount Shafir. And they removed from Mount Shafir and camped in Harada. And they removed from Harada and pitched in Machilot. And they removed from Machilot and encamped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and pitched in Tarah. And they removed from Tarah and pitched in Mithka. And they went from Mithka and pitched in Hashmonah. And they departed from Hashmonah and encamped at Moseroth. And they departed from Moseroth and pitched in Benaja Akan. And they removed from Benaja Akan and encamped at Hor Hagidgad. And they went from Hor Hagidgad and pitched at Jophbathah. And they removed from Jophbathah and encamped at Ebronah. And they departed from Ebronah and encamped at Etzion Geber. And they removed from Etzion Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they removed from Kadesh and pitched in Mount Hor, in the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor at the commandment of the Most High and died there. And in the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the first day of the 5th month, and Aaron was 123 years of age, 23 years old when he died in Mount Hor. So Aaron died in Mount Hor and he was 123 years. Basically, he lived a full age. If you think about it. A lot of us, we can't even make it to 70 years old. And Aaron lived to be 123 years old. So all praises to the Most High. Verse 40. And King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south of the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they departed from Mount Hor and pitched in Zalmonah, and departed from Zalmonah and pitched in Punan, and departed from Punan and pitched in Abath, and departed from Abath and pitched in Ijhabarim, and the border of Moab. And they departed from Lim and pitched in Dibon Gad, and removed from Dibon Gad and encamped at Alman Dibrathaim. And they removed from Alman Dibrathaim and pitched in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abarim and pitched in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. And they pitched by Jordan from Beth Chesemoth even unto Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And Most High spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places. This is a commandment of the Most High. We were not supposed to take any of their possessions or try to, take like their molten images or try to use their places of worship. The commandment of the Most High was to pluck them down, to destroy them. Verse 53. 33, verse 53. And ye shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. To dispossess them, to kick them out. Kick them out completely out of the land and take it, because I gave it to you. And ye shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families. And to the more you shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer you shall give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth, according to the tribes of your fathers, ye shall inherit it. But if you'll not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorn in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein you shall dwell. Again, I mentioned that before. You let the inhabitants of the land stay, they're gonna learn what you done did to their forefathers. If anything, we even write it in books. We write everything in our record in the Torah. And we imagine when you're a child and you grow up learning about the story of the Amorites, you're learning about the story of the Moabites, learning about the story of the Egyptians, what we done did to them, to the Canaanites, and you find you're a child and you're a Canaanite, or you're a child, you're a Moabite, and you find out what those Israelites they did to your forefathers, you're gonna want revenge, right? But the problem is for us, if we let these people stay alive and we let them stay in the land, not only they're gonna try to claim the land, but they're gonna be giving us problems, and they're gonna be sellouts among us. And we've seen that even, for example, later on when we had the Edomites living among us, they were the first one to open the gates of Jerusalem to let the Babylonians come in. So it's problematic, if the Most High order us to take them out, to dispossess the land of them, we got to do it. Get rid of them, every one of them, right? Verse 56. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do to them, meaning I'm gonna wipe you out. I'm gonna destroy you, because the plan that the Most High has is to destroy them, kick them out, and dispossess the land of them. And so if we are not getting rid of them and we become like them and we let them affect us, well, rather we let them infect us and we become wicked, he's going to destroy us and he's going to dispossess the land of us. And guess what? He did that. He did that. That's how we ended up here in this side of the world, after the transatlantic slave trade, which was prophesied in the book of Revelation, right? The 13th chapter. This entire thing happened because we got dispossessed of the land. The Most High kicked us out. We ended up going into Africa, made it to the Gold Coast, and ended up here in the Americas and Haiti and Jamaica and all them places as slaves, because the Most High dispossessed of us of the land. He kicked us out of the land because we did not follow the commandments to obliterate all those nations, to totally obliterate all those nations and get rid of them. We let them, they stay in the land, they infected us, we learned their ways, and we all ended up doing all kind of wickedness, and ultimately we ended up getting kicked out of the land, right? Numbers chapter 34. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye came into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan with the coast thereof. Then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Zin along the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outmost coast of the salt sea eastward. So that would be basically kind of like our south border, right? It would be like along by the coast of Edom, from the wilderness of Zin. And your borders shall turn from the south to the ascent of Acharbim, and pass onto Zin, and the going forth thereof shall be from the south of Kadesh Barnea, and shall go on to Hazar and pass unto Hasmon. And the border shall fetch a compass from Hasmon unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of it shall be at the sea. And as for the western border, ye shall even have the Great Sea for a border. Now, a lot of you may not know what the Great Sea is. That's what we call the Mediterranean Sea, right? The Mediterranean Sea is on the west side of Israel, right? It says, This shall be your west border, and this shall be your north border. From the Great Sea ye shall point out for you Mount Hor. So if you want to know what the north border is, it would be crossing from the Mediterranean Sea all the way to Mount Hor, right? That's what you would call the north border. From the Hor, ye shall point out your border unto the entrance of Hamath, and the goings forth of the border shall be to Zedad, and the border shall go unto Ziphron, and the goings out of it shall be at Hazar Enon. This shall be your north border. So it gives you kind of like the whole landmass, the whole line of where the border began, which we know it begins from the Mediterranean Sea, which is, but the Bible called it the Great Sea, and it goes basically all the way to, I'm guessing this place called Hazar Enon, which kind of like is the north border. And ye shall point out to your east border from Hazar Enon to Sepham, and the coast shall go down from Sepham to Riblah on the east side of En, and the border shall descend and shall reach unto the side of the sea of Shinnereth eastward. Now the sea of Shinnereth, nowadays they call it the Sea of Tiberias, right? The Sea of Tiberias. Now remember, I did mention very clearly that on the east side we have the Gilead, and we had the Gadites and also the Reubenites, which inhabit this portion on the east side. But they basically just give us the whole eastern border of Israel, right? Which would start from Hazar Enon to Sepham. Verse 12, and the border shall go down to Jordan, and the goings out of it shall be at the salt sea. This shall be your land, which the coast thereof around about. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which the Most High commanded to give unto the 9 tribes and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. So very, very important. So 9 tribes and a half on the one side, and then you have 2 tribes and a half on the other side. And of course, you remember you have the Levites, which are spread throughout the land. It says the 2 tribes of the half tribes have received their inheritance on this side, which is the east side of Jordan, near Jericho, eastward towards the sun rising. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, these are the names of the men which shall divide the land unto you. Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun. And ye shall take 1 prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. And the names of the men are these: of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. Remember, Caleb became the next ruler of Israel after Joshua. Very loyal guy, and the Most High loved him. He was a great leader, so all praises to the Most High. Verse 20, and the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel son of Amihud, and the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Chislon, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki, or some people say Bukai, but I call it Buki, the son of Jogli, and the prince of the children of Joseph, for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Hananiel the son of Ephod, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel the son of Shiftan, and the prince of the children of Zebulun, Elisaphan the son of Parnach, and this prince of the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel the son of Azan, and the prince of the children of Asher, Elihud the son of Shiloni, and the prince of the children of Naphtali, Padahel the son of Amihud. And these are they whom the Most High commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Israel and the land of Canaan. So that basically show us how the land was being divided, also what the border looked like, but with the condition that once we cross over, we would fight to acquire all those lands accordingly, and the distribution will be handed out according to whether we manage to do exactly what Moses tells us to do, because we still had to fight to get it. Next, Numbers 35. And the Most High spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites for an inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in. And ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. And the cities shall have shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. And ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither, and to them shall add 40 and 2 cities. So you have to understand, among each one of the tribes, right? Among all of the tribes, we had to have places where the Levites stay, because remember, the Levites did not get any inheritance when the land was being given out or allotted to the people. So the Levites, we didn't get a spot, right? And therefore, because of that, we had to get a city from each tribe. Okay, so from each tribe, we would get a city for us to stay in, right? And not only that, the Most High talked about the city of refuge. Those are 6 cities for refuge, and I'm gonna read it one more time for you to get it. This is the place where if somebody's committed a crime, you've basically killed somebody, and you feel like you're innocent. You didn't kill him on purpose. We in America, we call it manslaughter, but back in the days, people would look for you and try to kill you. You could flee to the cities of refuge where you could hide and save yourself, because people would try to kill you. But when you go there, that matter will still be judged. It's not like you go and hide and you think, okay, I get away with it. No, this matter would be judged, and if you are found guilty, you are going to get slaughtered. You're going to get killed. And if you are found not guilty, you would be allowed to stay with certain conditions. So I'm going to read a little bit slowly, because this is very, very important. Let's go back to verse 2. Numbers 35, verse 2. Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in. And ye shall give also unto the Levite suburbs for the cities round about them. Okay? And the cities that shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about, and ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the north side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, on the north side 2,000 cubits, and the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. So those cities would be in the midst among the tribes, and among each tribes you would have cities with suburbs, right? Where the Levites would stay. So they'll have their own cities, right? And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, right? Ye shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither, and to them ye shall add 40 and 2 cities. So you would have 6 cities, basically cities called cities for refuge. Something happens, you're a manslayer, you can flee there, and nobody's going to touch you, nobody's going to harm you, except that the priests, the Levites, would judge the matter, and they would decide whether you're guilty or not. And if you are guilty, well, you're going to get killed, right? Verse 7. So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 40 and 8 cities. Again, let's read it again. So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 40 and 8 cities. Let's do the math right quick. We're going to get basically 42 divided by 12. 42 divided by 12. So that gives you 3.5. So I mean, if we were to guess, I would say maybe each tribe, each Levite would have basically 3 cities in each tribe, and then plus the 6 cities of refuge, a total of 48. Let me read it again. So again, this is just me guessing, trying to do the math here to see how that played out, how they divided the lot. But as you can see, the Levites, they've had their own spot, but their spot was among the tribes, right? Because it says, so all the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities, and we know 6 of them are or cities of refuge, right? He says, them shall ye give with their suburbs. So each city with their suburbs, and the cities which ye shall give shall be for shall be of the possession of the children of Israel. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few you shall give few. Everyone shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to his inheritance which he is inheriting. So even right now, I was thinking maybe 3 cities per tribe, but the Bible is clear on it. If you had more cities, then you give more cities. If you have less cities, then you give less cities. So I wouldn't even be surprised that a tribe that had a huge land would actually have to give more cities to the Levites, including suburbs, for the Levites to live comfortably, right? So that's my take on that. Verse 9, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye become over Jordan in the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which kill any person unaware. So somebody, you didn't plan on killing somebody. Maybe you were playing and you kind of push him and he fell down. I don't know. Maybe he was sick or something and he died. The family, they don't know, they don't care, and they're trying to find you to kill you. So what you could do, you could quickly run to one of the cities for refuge, and because you're among the Levites, nobody would dare to come inside to try to get you. So you would go to the cities to a city of refuge, and you would stay there. This is where the Levites would actually judge the matter and decide whether you're guilty or not, basically. Right? Verse 12. And there shall be unto your cities for a refuge from the avenger. The avenger is the person that's trying to kill you, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment. And of the cities which ye shall give, 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. Ye shall give 3 cities on this side Jordan, and 3 cities shall ye give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. So that's interesting. So when you're splitting the cities of refuge, you should have 3 on the east side and 3 on the other side. Quite interesting. So basically on the mainland, which is the west portion of the land of Israel, you would put 3 cities of refuge, and on the other side, which is the east portion, where you have Gilead, and also where you have the children of Reuben, basically, and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh living in the land of Gilead and the other lands around there, then they would have 3 cities of refuge available on that portion. Quite interesting, really. Quite interesting. Next, verse 15. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both of the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that everyone that kill any person unaware may flee thither. This is very important. That's why, let me find that verse right quick. We're gonna get Exodus 12, verse 49. This is very important. I want you guys to pay attention to that. Exodus chapter 12, verse 49, where it says, one law shall be to him that is a homeborn, and one and unto the stranger that sojourn among you. So meaning the law is gonna be applied in many circumstances, gonna be the same for someone who let's say an immigrant, right? Or a stranger that's among you. It'll be the same thing for the stranger, and it'll be the same thing for a native born Israel. Especially in a case like this, when someone accidentally kills somebody, he should be able to flee to the city of refuge and be safe there. It shouldn't be a city of refuge for only Israelites, and the stranger and the sojourner that's among you, he can't get justice. We need to have justice, I guess, be equal for everyone, especially for someone who kills someone at unaware, someone who did not intend to kill somebody. So he should be able to flee to the city of refuge. I'm gonna read it one more time. These six cities, which is verse 15, again, Numbers 35, verse 15, these six cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Israel and for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, and that everyone that kill any person unaware may flee. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing a stone wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he smite him with a hand weapon of wood wherewith he may die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. What is this saying basically? You can tell me, man, I accidentally hit him when clearly I can see you hit him with a bat in his forehead. You kill him. You're a murderer, man. Like, oh no, it's an accident. Trust me, if you hit somebody by accident, like you would be able to tell. But certain way you kill somebody, you beat him to a pulp, and you're talking about, it's an accident. Nah, man, you're a murderer. You killed him, right? Verse 19, the revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meet him, he shall slay him. Obviously, you'd have families that are trying to kill that guy. If you find him, you're going to just kill him, right? But if he thrust him of hatred and hurl at him by laying of weight, that he die, or an enmity smite him with his hand, that he die, he that smote him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer when he meet him. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, and have cast upon him anything without laying of weight, meaning there was no, this guy just, he hit him or something like that, but you can clearly see he didn't plan on doing it. It was an accident. Maybe he pushed somebody by accident, the guy died. And he didn't have no enmity with him. He didn't have any problem with him prior, and the guy died. So clearly that's a different case. In America, we call it what? We call it manslaughter, right? When involuntary manslaughter. When you kill somebody, you didn't have the will or the plan to do that. Verse 23, or with any stone wherewith a man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him that he die, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm. Then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of refuge, whither he was fled, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest. So he needs to, if that guy managed to make it to the city of refuge, right, and or any other case, that place where he would stay and be safe from whoever is trying to kill him, because it is found that this guy did not plan to kill the guy. He did not want to kill the guy. It was not premeditated, and the guy has died maybe to different circumstances. Then if there was no premeditation, it's an accident. You cannot kill this man. He's an innocent man, and therefore they're not gonna deliver him to the guy who's trying to kill him. They're gonna keep him in the city of refuge, but only until the high priest has died. If he leaves the city of refuge before time, then there's a problem. He says, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of refuge, whither he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood. So if he's decided not to stay until the time and he lived before time, let's read it again. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of refuge, whither he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him. So if he decide to leave the city, right, at any time before that time, because it has to be before the death of the high priest, at the time when you walked inside of the city of refuge, if you walk outside of the city of refuge before time and they find you, they kill you, that person who kill you is most likely will be guiltless. Listen to that, because you have to understand, in Israel, the way we see it is, if somebody has shed blood, his blood need to be shed, but we have to protect also the innocent, so innocent people don't kill in the hands of vigilantes, right? Verse 27, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer. He shall not be guilty of blood. You see that? He shall not be guilty, because it's the guy's fault. He was not supposed to leave the city of refuge. Because I already tell you, you're not supposed to go outside. So if you go outside of that city and something happened to you, good luck, my friend. Verse 28, because he should have remained in the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. So the things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generation in all your dwellings. Let me make sure I read verse 28 again. Because he should have remained in the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. Now, mind you, if you are in the city of refuge for a year and the high priest die, a year later, congratulations. Nobody should be able to touch you. Even families that could try to kill you, they're not supposed to touch you because you left after the high priest had died. And if the slayer, they touch you, then they themselves would be in serious trouble and it probably could be put to death. But if you leave before the death of the high priest and you walk outside of the city and somebody kill you, the revenger, the Bible, like the Bible call it, like it's your own fault. Good luck. Right? Let's continue on. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession, meaning he can go back home. Verse 29. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generation in all your dwellings. Whosoever kill any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of by the mouth of witnesses, but one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Meaning you can't just find only one witness. You think you're going to give somebody the death penalty, right? Right. So you can't just have only one witness and you think that's sufficient to give someone the death penalty. In the Bible, we need at least two witnesses or many more witnesses, but the basic requirement was at least two witnesses, right? So the Bible says, but one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Now, I'm going to read a verse right quick, right? This is in the book of Ecclesiastes, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11 to 13. But actually, I'm going to just read verse 11, right, to save time. Because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. One thing we know for sure. In America, when somebody do something, they kill somebody, the justice system take forever and they really never really punish them, maybe give them like 30 years or something like that. But in Israel, you are found guilty, you're gonna get killed. So that it's not 3 decades later, people finding out, oh man, this guy did something horrible. No, you kill somebody today and they find you guilty in 2 weeks. And while this story is hot, everybody knows about it, you're going to get executed. Why are you going to get executed? That way, everybody know if I do that, I'm going to get killed. Because if somebody raped a lot of people and murdered a lot of people 30 years ago, like this generation don't know how bad that was, and they don't know the punishment that follows suit. But if it happened yesterday, everybody know about it. And in 2 weeks, the guy get hanged. 2 weeks, he gets stoned. Nobody's going to do the same thing. What I'm trying to say is we need to ensure that punishment is executed speedily, quickly, with no delay. And when that happens, you're going to see a whole change in this country where we live in. But again, in Israel, that's how it was. You're guilty, you're going to be put to death. You kill somebody, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, plural. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Verse 31. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. So don't try to spare a murderer's life. He killed somebody, he needs to be put to death. Okay? You shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And the Bible will tell us exactly why that is important. Verse 32. And ye shall, Salakia, right, verse 32. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the high priest. Meaning, if somebody, you went into the city of refuge, you did not wait until the death of the high priest, and you go back to your house and they kill you, I'm sorry, man. I don't feel pity for you. That's your damn fault. That's your fault, because they had told you you need to stay until the death of the high priest. You didn't listen, right? Verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defile the land, and land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that is that shed it. What does that mean? If you shed blood in the land, it's your blood that needs to cleanse it. If you kill, you murder, then you have to be killed in order for that land to be cleansed. That's why you see places like Haiti where gangs, they're killing people, they're raping people, they do all kind of wickedness, and there's no punishment. And even when the punishment comes, it's not speedily, it's not quick. And if you keep killing innocent people and you don't kill that person that killed the innocent, the land is defiled, man. The land is defiled. Likewise, here in America, this land is defiled. How many of our people they killed, they slaughtered, right? How many of our babies they fed to alligators, man? So this land is defiled. And that's why the Most High say the only way this land is gonna get cleansed is that the slayer, the person that shed blood, his blood needs to be shed. Other than that, the land is not cleansed. That's the only way it's cleansed. Especially but for us in Israel, that's how it was. And I'm pretty sure it's the same rule for here America, being wicked as hell. Verse 34, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I the Most High dwell among the children of Israel. This is why it was so important for us to keep the land clean, because the Most High dwelt among us, right? So you wanna have a land, and you want that land to be cleansed. He who kill must be killed. He who shed blood, his blood must be shed. Numbers 36, verse 1. And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they say, the Most High commanded my other one, my Lord, to give the land for an inheritance by the lot of the children of Israel. And my Lord was commended by the Most High to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. And if they married to any of the sons of other tribes, the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when the jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of their fathers. Now that was a problem. That was a problem, right? It's like if you have, for example, your daughters, right? Let me read verse 2 for you right quick so you can see what I mean. And they said that the Most High commanded my Lord to give the land for inheritance by the lot of the children of Israel, meaning according to tribe. And my Lord was commended by the Lord to give inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. So if you take the inheritance of Zelophehad and you give him to Zelophehad's daughters, So then if Zelophehad, they go and marry somebody from the tribe of, I don't know, from the tribe of Judah or from the tribe of Ephraim, then guess what? Does that inheritance automatically go to the tribe of Judah? Does that inheritance automatically go to the tribe of Ephraim? And you're gonna see how Moses resolved this kind of like problem, because that was a problem. Because meaning, if I die right now and I give my inheritance to my daughter, or to my daughters, if I have more daughters, right? And they marry another tribe, is that tribe gonna come and take my inheritance? I don't think so. And me being in my tribe, and I'm seeing all my inheritance gonna go away now because all my daughters they marry somebody from another tribe. That's problematic. Numbers 36. And Moses commanded the children of Israel. Numbers 36, verse 6. And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Most High, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph had said well. This is the thing which the Most High does command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel be moved from tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that possess an inheritance in any tribe of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Even as the Most High commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. So if you are a female, if you are a man, right, and you have daughters, and your daughters, you never have a son, so your inheritance automatically go to your daughters. But your daughters are not permitted to marry on another tribe. They have to marry their own tribe. So that inheritance is not going to be taken by that other tribe. Remember, if she goes and marries somebody, like let's say the dad was from the tribe of Judah, and she goes and married the tribe of Ephraim, and she brought her husband to that inheritance, to that lot. Now that guy who's from Ephraim could have a claim to that household. But again, the tribe of Judah would not be happy because this is the land of Judah. Ephraim should not have a claim to it. All praises to the Most High. That was good judgment, man. That was very good judgment. Verse 10, as the Most High commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. Verse 11, for Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Maliah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married unto their father's brother's son, and they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments in the judgment which the Most High commended by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab, by Jordan and Jericho. With that, we say all praises to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. We're gonna have our next portion next week, and it's gonna be in the book of Devarim, which is Deuteronomy. I'm gonna start in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1, and we're gonna end it at Deuteronomy, the 3rd chapter, verse 22. So if you want to start reading, please go ahead and read. But we have our next Torah portion, which is Devarim. So with that, all praises to the Most High, B'Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Shalom to everyone.